All right, today on our short video, we're going to be looking at the Jets in their 30-10 win over the Packers. We're going to be looking at specifically the Jets in the trenches. The Jets were pretty dominant in the trench area. Justin Fields, 16.7 pressure rate on 3.55 average time to throw on only 6 dropbacks, but obviously a good showing by specifically the starting offensive line, minus one Mr. John Simpson as well. So that would obviously help, considering that Meyers did struggle a little bit, allowed some pressures on the interior from the center spot, but overall good there. We have 4 plays from the offensive line, 6 from the defensive line. Before we begin, just make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, leave comments, comment which players you guys want to see in the next preseason review. Obviously, you guys liking and commenting lets me know that you guys like the new style of video, helps out our algorithm. And make sure that after this video, if you like this video, to go and watch the full video where we break down much more between sauce and UDFAs and a bunch of other things. And we're going to start with Meyers himself. Basically from Meyers to the left tackle right here, with Meyers, Joe Titman, and Fashanu. We have a bunch of good blocks. We'll get through these 10 plays. Meyers snaps the ball, quick to land the right hand into the chest of number 97. Keep that hand attached. Keep extension. Keep a good base. Move 97 off of his spot. Keep him completely away from Justin Fields. Okay? Titman, your left guard here, also does a really good job taking a power step on the to the interior really quickly, just to cover that A gap and help out Meyers. His block throws out a drag hand, which is his right arm right now, allows him to look at 90 and protect that B gap by also feeling that A gap. If he feels some pressure to that hand, then he's going to know that Meyers isn't on that block as he should be, and then he's going to assist more on that block. He doesn't feel anything, continues to get out to his left, looking at 90. 90 obviously widens, gets his eyes back into 97, continues to monitor 90 to the outside. Our next play from the offensive line, we're looking at one of the more popular plays that we've seen broken down on Twitter, just around the internet, with Braylon Allen, picking up a chunk gain here. The big hole, obviously, that Braylon Allen ends up shooting through here. And why does it happen, right? So you have Meyers at the center position, who does a good job as well with a ricochet technique, drops that right foot instep, works back into the defender with his left foot. Good job splitting the crotch. You want to take on a half a man when you're doing a combo block like this. So good job with the ricochet technique. Takes on the outside half of his defender. Looks to the second level, works to 56. Really good job by Meyers. Again, ricochet, working half man, eyes up on 56, getting to 56. Another drop back for Justin Fields after a play action. And we specifically have a really good job by 2 or 3 Jets right here. We have Membu, we have Titman highlighting the play, and we have Meyers also doing a very nice job on this rep from the Jets. So we'll watch the protection first, and we'll go in and break it down. Play action, hitting Beck again, a guy who I was standing this entire offseason. I would probably say it's my biggest, definitely the biggest stand existing in Jets Twitter or YouTube world. That's undoubtable at this point. But Meyers working into 95's rib area, so good job there, getting extension. Awesome job. You have Titman at left guard, who I think, and we'll see in the future, I could see his future being at the guard position as well. I think he's just as good at guard, if not even better than center sometimes. So depending on what happens with AVT and with Simpson, we'll see what happens with Titman in his future. Really good game for him as well at guard. And I would say even added the offensive lineman, probably the best game. I would say probably the best game out of all of these guys. Titman was really impressive. Attacking low, the center of gravity. Nice tight 90-degree arm angle into the hip. The lower, obviously we want a nice tight arm angle, nice and tight to us, elbow pin. It's a really strong position to be in. And the lower that we attack, hopefully, the most ideal position is that hip. If we attack that hip, we attack that center of gravity, guys can't really absorb it. If you start to attack guys up high and their base is anchored into the ground, guys are flexible enough to take on that force get their upper body move while their base is still attached to the ground. So when we attack the hip, we're attacking the legs and the base, and you can't really thwart that. So really good job attacking low, especially for a guy who's 6'6". Look how low he is. Look how tight the arm angle is. Attacking the center of gravity creates plenty of movement on 96 as well, right? So Braylon Allen does a good job reading outside. He's getting widened. It's going to be hard for him to get out here. So his eyes flash to the backside. Also sees, yellow outside of green. Sees a huge hole right here. Really good job being decisive, hitting that hole. Lowering his shoulder at the last second, trucking 39. This is Justin Fields' 3rd and 5 scramble for a touchdown. So let's run the play, and then we'll go back and watch a little bit of the offensive line. And obviously exciting with Justin Fields being the first quarterback we've ever had who could really take off like that, at least since I've been alive. And I know people will say Michael Vick, but Michael Vick was obviously at the end of his career when he came, to play with the Jets. But here looks like we just have this, gap protection. We have the center from the right tackle shuffling in gap protection to their right, and then vice versa with the left guard to left tackle here. So we have Titman who sets to his left. We have 95 who dives inside right here. The Packers running a TT stunt where he's going to pick and then he's going to loop around. Titman does a good job of initially opening up, seeing him diving inside. Titman takes a power step, then drops the post. So we have post foot, and then we have his kick foot. If this drops behind the kick foot, now the post step is the kick step, and the kick foot is now the post step. So good job of initially power stepping to match and then dropping the post, right hand inside. Again, just like I talked about with the other play, nice tight 90-degree arm angle into the hip. That's exactly where you want to attack. So his hand placement could not be better here. So, and that was something that I think he struggled with a little bit last year, was hand placement. But this game, we saw a couple plays of very, very good hand placement from Titman. Okay, right hand inside, left hand into the hip, eyes up, shoves 95 into Meyers with his eyes being up because he knows if he's picking, there's going to be a looper coming. So his eyes are up in preparation for that. Extension, left hand out into the chest of Kenny Clark. Right hand again, nice tight arm angle. He's not as low here because there's a lot of movement there, so he's not able to play it exactly like he wants it. But nice tight arm angle into the ribs, gets enough vertical push to allow Justin Fields to step up and through the pocket. Awesome play by Titman there. It would have been a little bit easier for Titman here if Meyers was a little bit quicker to recognize the stunt. It all happens so quickly. It's hard to blame guys, but once 97 starts to come off the ball here at a little bit of a slowed pace and is working directly towards Meyers, Meyers has to have a little bit of like an alert go off in his head that, hey, he's working slowly to me. He's kind of standing up and waiting for something. What's coming? A little bit late, a half a second late to notice the picker, which puts Titman in a position where he has to take an extra step or two with the picker to pass him off. So he's put in a bad position, but really good agility to shove, get his arm out there, stay attached. Hell of a job. Again, Meyers can pick it up a little bit there. Fashanu, left tackle versus 90 right here, who also does a very good job. Now, Fashanu kind of takes this more heads up versus 90, which typically we want the outside foot splitting the crotch of the outside defender. But with this play, obviously we have Titman to the inside, so Fashanu is completely fine with kind of squaring up 90 because if 90 dives inside, he has Titman there to assist him. So good job, good patience. Good base from Fashanu. Isn't overzealous with his hands, right? Isn't overzealous with his hands. 90 goes to chop, but Fashanu's hands aren't there because, again, of the patience. Right hand attaches, doesn't reach for contact. It's not off balance. It gets wiped away. Is still able to maintain his contact. Left hand stays attached. Right hand works into the ribs, into the center of gravity to create that push. And as he feels 90 start to lean into him, he gets into his anchor, right? Good job hopping backwards, working off of his right instep, working off of his left instep. Powerful base right there. Keeps, which I believe is actually Van Ness, out of that play completely. So really good job from the center to the left tackle here. The last guy we want to highlight is Fashanu. Fashanu does a good job getting into his getting into his 45-degree set. Patient hands, right? Nice and patient. Feels that Van Ness is about to bull rush him, right? That right foot explodes into the ground off the instep. Fashion does a good job of reading it, feeling the bull rush coming, and look how he meets him. Hips are lower. Nice arch in the back right there. He's not just bending over at the hips. The left foot in preparation goes backwards to get into his instep. Anticipates the bull rush. And snaps back into the anchor. He's preparing for it. He's prepared for it as it comes. Look where his body is. Again, back instep off the left foot, nice and low. Good leverage. Linear, not bending from the waist. Hands on, stands up Van Ness. And I believe him in terms of working on that working on that anchor, working on that strength. The anchor right there is very good. He snaps back into it pretty quickly. So good job by the Jets offensive line. We'll talk about Fields in the full review. Again, this is just a short review. All these plays will be reviewed in full, where I'll go over everybody. So we'll go over Justin Fields' aspect of this in a couple of seconds, in the next show. But good job by Fields, again, feeling that pressure, stepping up, 2 hands on the ball, pulling the ball away from the defender with 2 hands on it, outrunning dudes for a touchdown. Hell of a job by the Jets offensive line, and good job by Fields right there. We have ABT, who does a good job of just awareness. Again, knowing his protection, knowing he has help to his left, checking 97, eyes on 57 to the outside. We have Membu, who gets caught in the chest right here, but snaps back into his anchor. I think he was going to hold up fine even without ABT, but ABT sees him getting bull rushed back a little bit, gets his hands on. Really good job there. Really good job by Titman. And then we'll just recap ABT really, really quickly. And ABT does get driven back a little bit here, but the good thing about what ABT does and every rep is not going to be clean. Every rep is not going to be exactly what you want it to be. So for ABT, he gets caught a little bit in his chest. That's okay, though, because of a few things. One, he consistently works to reset his hands, right? Trying to refit the left, refit the right, attempts to refit the left again, refits the left again, gets that vertical push just enough for Justin Fields to get that ball away. And really, if Justin Fields wanted to, he could step up and through this pocket. So ABT gets pushed back a little bit. You get, the pocket squeezed a little bit right there, but he still creates enough vertical push where he's not out of the play, or where he is out of the play. And with that too, the good thing from ABT here is, again, I know we're rewinding, back and forth a lot. There's quite a few, guys to recap here. The good thing about ABT is, again, the hands. It's not only the hands, it's the feet too, because he's alternating his feet. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5, as he's continually resetting the hands. Because if you're getting pulled back like this and you try to hop back, you're going to lose control. You can get completely off balance and fall on your face. So you want to, as he's refitting the hands, walk back. So really good job alternating the hands, alternating the feet, staying in on that play, and creating just enough vertical push for Justin Fields to get rid of that ball. Really good job again, play action. So everybody stepping down. Watch Membu first versus Kenny Clark, who's a pretty damn good defensive tackle in today's NFL. Super strong for Membu, and we're already hearing that throughout camp. I believe Quinnen Williams said that he's already very, very strong, and being a 21-year-old guy, it's very good. Quick to get on Kenny Clark, landing the left hand into the chest, the right hand over the top for control. So you have, again, one hand that's going to do a lot of lifting and a lot of actual moving back, and then you have another hand over the top for control. So it's perfect hand placement. You really can't get much better from Membu there in terms of the hand placement that you want. Those hands stay attached. He starts to work into his anchor. We have Kenny Clark, who kind of tries to use a throw by to work back to the outside. We have Membu, whose right hand stays attached the entire time. The left hand gets worked off of him, but then he refits it underneath, and now you have left hand underneath, right hand cinched into the right shoulder pad, and now Membu's going to start working off his insteps. Really good stance right there. Again, off the insteps, the inner of the foot. So I'll pause right here. We got instep. That's the powerful position you want to be in when you're anchoring down versus a guy, and then he's just going to match him. Stay attached to match him. takes Kenny Clark completely out of that play. Hell of a job by the rookie. Final play of the offensive line. Really good job again, play action. So everybody stepping down. Watch Membu first versus Kenny Clark, who's a pretty damn good defensive tackle in today's NFL. Super strong for Membu, and we're already hearing that throughout camp. I believe Quinnen Williams said that he's already very, very strong, and being a 21-year-old guy, it's very good. Quick to get on Kenny Clark, landing the left hand into the chest, the right hand over the top for control. So you have again one hand that's going to do a lot of lifting and a lot of actual moving back, and then you have another hand over the top for control. So it's perfect hand placement. You really can't get much better from Membu there in terms of the hand placement that you want. Um, those hands stay attached. He starts to work into his anchor. We have Kenny Clark who kind of tries to use a throw by to work back to the outside. We have Membu whose right hand stays attached the entire time. The left hand gets worked off of him, but then he refits it underneath, and now you have left hand underneath, right hand cinched into the right shoulder pad, and now Membu's going to start working off his insteps. Really good stance right there again off the insteps. The inner of the foot. So I'll pause right here. We got instep, instep. That's the powerful position you want to be in when you're anchoring down versus a guy. And then he's just going to match him. Stay attached to match him. Takes Kenny Clark completely out of that play. Hell of a job by the rookie.